All right, it's a little past the halfway point. I figure it's another good time to check in on my goals, reevaluate, see what isn't working for me. Because as I talk about throughout the year, I like to check in quarterly, and I don't like things to have to be rigid. Goals are meant to be good guidelines. So if things have changed and I need to change my goals, that's okay. And some of these won't need to be changed, and some I kind of do want to change, and we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about the goals for my goals video. I'm going to talk about the 21 I read in 2021, the series I wanted to start in 2021, give you a quick update about my bingo board. So, just checking all my challenges and goals, see what's working, see what's not, and that'll be this video. So the first one that I changed was actually to make it more challenging, but that was, my original goal was 52 books in 2021, which I think as of filming this video, I'm already at like 56, 66, I don't know, a number of books that is above 52. And so I moved it to 100. I do think I'm at a space now where I can consistently hit 100, which is baffling to me. Just 2 or 3 years ago, I would have been thrilled to read just 70 books a year, and maybe it'll go back to that. I don't know what my reading life is going to look like as my other hobbies can be reintegrated into my life, as big life things happen. Like, I have no clue. I know I will always be reading. I never know how much, but this year, I think I can read 100 books. So I bumped that one up. And what's the next one I have? So I love rereading. This shouldn't be news if you've been on this channel. I love rereading. I love rewatching. I love consuming media that I love multiple times. I cannot tell you how many times I have watched the show Charmed. Like, seriously, I can't. Like, it was on syndication after school in middle school, and I just watched it. And I just kept watching it over and over again. And then it was on Netflix. So, yeah. And I'm like that with reading, too. Like, before I expanded into other books after college, I had read and reread Sanderson's Cosmere a bunch. Like, I'm one of the few people I know that has read Way of Kings in its entirety 4 times. Because it's a long book. It's a little long. So my goal this year was to give myself the permission and space to reread at least 12 things. And I looked at my sheet and I have reread 7 things, so I am on track, and I like that. I think that's a good blend because I still love reading new things, like, a lot. I love consuming news stories. That's another part of why I read. So I think having that goal, I'm going to achieve it. It's quite lovely. I'm right now in the middle of rereading 2 series. It's fantastic, and I'm rereading a short story collection. Most of my July reads have been rereads, and I'm not mad about it, because honestly, the mental health has needed it, so it's pretty fantastic. Another new thing that I did this year that I've never done before is I have allowed myself to go on NetGalley and get ARCs, and I also get some physical ARCs and other ARCs from other authors. I've let myself have ARCs, which is a thing I was always nervous about for a couple reasons. I mean, I like reading the finished copy of a book. I don't know, like, just being overwhelmed by the number, but I told myself I was going to start doing it because I was going to treat it like a library sort of system for myself, and it's been going pretty good. I said try and read 1 a month, and I'm actually about on that. I just released a video where I talk about the 12 books I've read in 2021 and what I thought of them. So, like, not all of those were even arcs, but all of them were a lot of my arcs. I'm only behind on 1 arc right now, and I'm actually reading it at this moment. So I haven't gotten behind. I currently don't feel overwhelmed, and I love reading new releases. So, like, I do not mind that the majority of my reading are recent releases. Like, I love that. So, and I've been choosing books that I really like in terms of arcs. I don't think I've had to give an arc below a 4-star. Like, I think I've really enjoyed every arc I've picked for myself, which is fantastic, because, like, I'm not really sure if I know my tastes all the time. So that's been pretty great. So that's an experiment that's gone pretty well so far. And then this goal I'm adjusting. I wanted to read 10 to 12 short story collections. And I've read 4, and one of them was like the tomiest of tomes. It was like a 530-page short story collection, and I still love reading short story collections. I still want to read short story collections, but I think I'm going to lower this to 8, because if I only read 4 in the first half of the year, I don't think I'm going to suddenly read 1 a month for the rest of the year. I don't think that's within my abilities, but I think I can read 4 more collections by the end of the year, so I think 8's an attainable goal. It's also important. I want to stretch myself, but also make things attainable. I love short story collections. I actually just ordered The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu. because I'm excited. And I keep wanting to buy it, but there's only paperbacks at my store, and it has that thing that I hate. See the no disclaimers tag if you want to know what I'm talking about. But I got myself a copy, so I'm very excited. That might be the next one I read, because I haven't read a short story collection by like a singular author in a while, so I'm pretty pumped. So are those all the book goals? No, I have a few more. One I still haven't accomplished, but I have purchased books, so maybe it'll happen. But I want to read one book in Spanish. Ugh. I do have a short story collection that is young adult short stories from different authors in, I think, specifically South America, maybe some Central America. And so I have that ebook, and I want to try and read at least one short story from it. Maybe that's what I'll say. Now I just want to read a short story in Spanish by the end of the year. I have the short story collection. It's speculative, fantasy, sci-fi, South American authors in Spanish. I need to do it. I really, really want to. It just takes a lot of effort, right? It's like I'm already a slow reader in English, and I'm an astronomically slower reader in Spanish, so it is what it is. I just need to carve out some time. It just needs to be a project. Maybe I just need to think about it in like a different hobby space or something. And then reading diversely, I'm doing really well on that. I'd like to up how many non-binary authors I'm reading, but I'm even doing better than I usually have in the past in terms of my gender reading. I'm doing great on my balancing of author of colors and white authors. Maybe in the future I'll try and make sure I'm within authors of color, which I just make a very broad category, doing well. But in general, the goal has happened where I am naturally grabbing books from all over the place, which was not the case a couple years ago, and I just wanted to make it so it was like a natural thing. So that's going great. So in terms of reading goals, we're doing okay with like the broad goals. For the channel, I had a couple channel goals we'll review real quick. My Science Behind the Magic videos. I have posted, I believe, 3 this year. I wanted to post 8, but then my brain was like, I really want to change how I do them, but it's going to be very different from a sit-down video. Like, I want to do like a voiceover with different graphics, and then all of a sudden I hit this wall of, oh no, I have to learn a new skill, which is the wall I am at the moment. Like, I know how to talk and make scripts, I know how to edit, I know the science, but I need to figure out the logistics of the images that I want my voiceover to go over. I don't know, I want to play around with it because I like how the series has been going, but I want something different from it. So I'm no longer holding myself to this numerical goal, but if I get out 1 or 2 by the end of the year and it sort of starts to look like what I want, I'm going to be super excited because I have this vision for it and I want to work on it. But again, kind of like my goal of like reading a book in Spanish, I'm like, I'm not setting aside the time, and I'm blaming mental health stuff a little bit, but also some of it's just like forgetting that maybe when I have free time, I could do that sort of thing. So that's for that channel goal. I have been working on spoiler vlogs. That was a thing I wanted to do, is have spoiler vlogs and chats, and I have a bunch of them for a bunch of series that I love, a bunch of popular series. So like, I think the main ones, Mistborn, Malazan, and the Live Ship Traders are the ones that I've really been doing that for, and it's been fantastic. And yeah, the other ones were the fact that I started a Discord and Patreon, and I did a readathon and a read-along. Well, I'm co-hosting a read-along with Chloe, but I did a readathon in March. I did my March Madness book bracket. The Patreon's still happening. I love my Discord. I might shift how the Patreon works in a couple months. I haven't decided yet. Just trying to figure out what works best for my time and mental health. I love the Discord though. That was fantastic. I really love all the conversations that happen there. So in general, I'm moving in the right direction and all my goals are doing great. Now, things that we definitely need to adjust on are some of those videos, we all make at the end of the year. We're all ambitious about how the next year's reading is going to be, and I'm sure someone's 100% successful, but that is not me. First, we'll talk about my bingo board, which actually is going well, and I actually am only a quarter of the way through the time for it, because it starts in April and will end in next year's April, well, end of March. You guys get it. But here is, I'll put on the screen my current bingo board. I think I have done 14 out of 25 prompts, maybe 15 by the time you're seeing this. And yeah, you can see with this visual bingo card all the stuff that I've read so far. Any reviews for any of these books I will have linked in the description down below. And it's going great. If you think I have wrongly put anything into any of these categories, feel free to kindly let me know down in the comments. The one that I'm most unsure of is Saarland by Rivers Solomon, mainly because I still don't know what Gothic means. A lot of friends have tried to tell it to me, and I think this is like if you know my friend Michael Nip, he has an issue with the definition of grimdark, as in he doesn't really know what it means. And that's how I feel with Gothic. It's just like, I know there are definitions, but like I don't know what it means. I really don't. And I've had so many friends try to help me, and I'm still just like, but does that, I still don't know based off all these definitions if this book is Gothic or what makes something Gothic. And maybe that's just because like I've never, like everyone who tells me about Gothic classics that I've read in school, I'm like, this was the vibe you guys were getting? Like I got no vibe from those books. I was just like, these were words and they were not interesting words to me. Probably because I was 16 and the attention span of a 16-year-old is not meant for Wuthering Heights. There's a chance. But that's a conversation. Maybe for a different video, maybe never. It's just always in my head. So the bingo's going well. I'm feeling good about the bingo. The series I wanted to start in 2021, we're throwing that out. I have started 2 of them. I will finish both the series that I started. So, like, that's fantastic. But yeah, no. I looked through that video, which I will link down below. No. There were a lot of series on there, and I'm not starting all of them. We have 6 months left, 5, I guess, because we're halfway through July. Not putting that pressure on myself. But the one that we will talk about is the 21 to read in 2021. And I think when I was looking, I actually have read 8 of them, which I'm not mad about. That's actually been a really good project for me, because when I have been picking standalones to read for my TBRs, I've been pulling from that video. And I went through that video, and I'm not going to try and read all 21, but there are 8 others that I would like to prioritize, so we'll go through that real quick. So I still want to read the novellas Dream Houses and The Undefeated that were recommended by Tori Morrow. She loves these novellas, and I'm actually getting one from the library soon. I don't know a lot about them, but they really intrigue me. I really like the idea of both of these sci-fi novellas. I think both of them have thriller mystery aspects. One's in space, I think, and like basically an alarm goes off and everything's wrong on some like satellite or spacecraft thing, and the other one is, I think, a reporter who's back on her home planet and things are amiss. That's all I really remember. The Undefeated is the one, though, with the reporter, and the one that I'm reading soonish. I have The Changeling right here. I still want to read The Changeling by Victor LaValle, and I own The Ballad of Black Tom, so I want to read that one. I own Masters of Poisons, which was on that list, so I still want to read that. I also own In the Dream House, so I still want to get to that one. And then there was the nonfiction, The Undocumented Americans, that I'm still very scared of, but I still want to get to. I want to get to Unraveling by Karen Lord, although I might swap this one out for The Galaxy Game, which is the second book for the Best of All Possible World series, if only to keep reading in publication order. So this one's more of one of the Karen Lord books that I own sort of slots. So those are like the 8 from that list that I'm carrying over. So that means if I do that, I'll have read 16 of 21. And like, I don't think that's bad. I think that's very reasonable. So here are the updates on my goals and everything like that. Because I like checking in. I like seeing how things are going. I don't like to be like, oh, well now I'm already going to fail and I cannot possibly catch up for the rest of the year. That's not a fun mindset to be in. How do you guys handle goals? Do you have any goals you've been working on for the year? I love to hear ideas, because I always, I'm curious about some people who have really specific goals and other people who have like more broad goals. Like, I think one that I heard recently was a friend of mine who was just talking about how they wanted to make sure they were reading when they wanted to read and not forcing themselves to read. I'm like, that is a very good goal. It's definitely a goal that I've been working on. Like, I think I've mentioned it a lot this year, where it's like, I will read a book for as long as the book takes to be read. I will no longer be upset if the book takes me more than 2 weeks or if it takes me 2 days. Each book has their own time frame, and that's how it's going to be, because that was the thing that BookTube was stressing me out about, because I'd be like, well, I read another 500-page book in like 5 days. Why can't I read this one in 5 days? You know, because it would take me 2 weeks, and it's just because different books want to be read at different speeds. But that's it for this one. If you want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, if you have no thoughts, but you just like, leaving something in the comment section, I don't know, leave a balloon. I really love balloons. Balloons are so much fun. And if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.